Cam Brower for Cam's Mortgage Minute on Tuesday, October 23rd. Hey, this segment I'm calling Credit Repair 101. Yeah, we're going to talk today about credit cards. That's right. Those wonderful little shiny plastic things that carry horrendous rates. And, well, they can, and sometimes they can have decent rates. So it really all depends on your attitude towards credit. I encounter a lot of clients, and of course, as I told you, I deal with a lot of clients who have credit issues. And from time to time, I'll hear the famous saying, when I ask somebody, do you have credit cards? They say, oh, I don't believe in that. And I know from that exact statement, and the reason a lot of people don't believe in that, or they're saying that, is because they've had problems with these credit cards. That's right. They've either gone through bankruptcy, consumer proposal, they've had other issues with the credit cards. So, why are credit cards such a nasty piece of work, and how come people can't seem to manage them well? Well, today I'm just going to share with you a few simple tips on what you can do. So, if you already have an existing credit card, the key, first of all, is to understand how credit card companies report. If, for example, let's say your credit limit's $2,000, and every month you rack it up to $2,000, but you pay it off. When the credit card company is reported to, it will always show a balance every time, which will always affect your credit score, even though you're paying it off on a regular basis, and we can prove that to a lender later sometimes. The fact is, the simple fact is, because it's running near the limit or at the limit all the time, that affects your credit score. So what do you do about that? Well, get in the habit of trying not to use any more than 50% of the credit card balance. That's right. So if your credit limit's $2,000, try not to go beyond $1,000. Now, if you're finding that you use your credit card for work and for whatever reason it's always at that amount, or increase the limit. That's right. Now, a lot of you, when I say that, will go, oh, wait, I'm not increasing the limit. You know what, I'll probably spend more. No, you got to be disciplined. Don't spend more. Increase that limit. So if you're at $2,000 all the time, try to get the credit card company to bump it to $4,000. So you're always at that 50% number, okay? That's really, really important. The other thing to do with credit card company, credit cards, is pay them on time. You wouldn't believe the number of times I talk to people and they say, well, you know, I was only a day or two late. No, because they're a report to the bureau, you want to make sure they're reporting on your payment calendar cycle all the time. So if your payment's due on the 19th, most credit card companies will report to the bureau usually a day or two after that, and it'll be updated. So you want to make sure that you're always on time. Now, another little trick that you can do, believe it or not, is you can have a credit card with zero interest. That's right. How do you do it? Simple. Whatever you rack up during that period, as long as you pay it off fully by the statement date, like when the statement comes out and your payment date, you've got no interest on it. That's right. I've had a credit card for years at basically 0%. We pay it off all the time. Now, credit cards aren't an evil. Now, the other thing I get asked a lot is, how many credit cards should I have? Well, question is, how many do you really need? Do you need 5, 6, 7? I mean, most times people get sucked into signing up for them through some rewards program, or hey, I'm going to give you these points, or whatever else. Ask yourself the simple question, do I need another credit card? So I would say realistically, having 2 is a good number. Maybe in some cases you might want 3, but 2 is probably pretty good. You want to make sure that you have a couple of pieces of credit, especially when you're rebuilding. When you're rebuilding, especially, it's important because lenders want to see that you've now got a reestablished credit at a decent pace. Now, if you've had credit issues in the past, you're going to have a hard time getting a traditional credit card. Most people do. That's when they need a secured credit card. Secured credit card is when you put up the money and the lender, basically the credit card company, is willing to grant you that as a limit. They know that if you default on them, they've still got your money. It's a good way to get started back in the market. The key with that credit card is to make sure it's reporting to the credit bureau, and the fact that it has a half-decent limit. And then the goal is, once you've had that for a while, is to try to get in with a normal credit card without a security aspect to it and start adding a second piece of additional credit. We've got a thing on our website, a link on our website at Auxilium Mortgage. It's pretty easy. If you're looking for a secured Visa card, click the link. There's an application you can fill out and you can get the process rolling. For those of you who are looking for that secured credit card, it's a great option. And it's offered through one of our lending partners called Home Trust, and they actually do mortgages as well. So it's a good way to kind of get a relationship going with a company in the future that you may be looking for a mortgage from. The other thing to keep abreast of what's going on with your credit cards is always be sure of where they are and where, you know, what your spending's like. So a lot of times people don't always check the statements, or they don't pay much attention to the statements. It's so important. Check your statements when you get them. A lot of you I know now have online access to virtually everything. get in the habit every few days. Take a look. Where's your stuff at? I mean, you want to make sure with credit card fraud and all these other things going on, you want to make sure that your credit card is truly being just used by you and somebody isn't abusing it or doing other things. Anyways, I hope this has helped. This is just, like I said, to try to get your credit improved. It's another way of looking at things. I mean, credit cards are not a bad thing, so get that out of your mind. They're not evil. The key is to make them work for you and not be a slave to them. That's the bottom line. Anyway, it's been Cam for Cam's Mortgage Minute, and I will see you tomorrow.